Good. There is a absolute holy grail item in this box. Now this is going to be old candy items. If you're into that sort of thing like I am, stick around because now while this is about a 3-pound box, maybe 2, I don't know. There's one item that I've been waiting years to get. Anyway, let's get in here and see what all this is. So there's a combination of a single item that I bought from the seller, and then he sold a lot of old candy items, which is my bread and butter, buying big lots of candy. Anyway, so he combined it into one. Let me see if that item is floating on top. I kind of want to save it to the end. I'm peeking. Yeah, I'm going to grab it and move it. Close your eyes. Okay. All right, let's go ahead and start here. Now, this is going to be, another one of those big lots of, not medium lot of, I've opened many large lots on here. Medium-sized lot of bubblegum. Now, this was a junker kind of lot. There's some stuff in here that is quite almost like trash. On the first, though, this is quite the banger. This is a Barat A-Team bubblegum pouch. If you don't remember this from childhood, that's because this was only produced in Europe, particularly the UK. There's a set of 4 of these. Wonderful design, but at one time this had shredded bubble gum, like Big League Chew kind of. Notice the bullet holes here by the logo. So much to love about this. These also came with stickers in them, and I do have some of the original stickers in the collection. They're really cool, but a great place to start. Obviously, he put this separate. Maybe he had this on display in his own house for a while. I'm not really sure. There's some good stuff in here, but these are mostly empty, and there's some that are missing things, like this is just the lid. We can get this out first. So, as a candy advertising guy, I totally get why this guy saved the lid and didn't care about the bottom. Maybe he lost it. Maybe it never mattered because all the goodies is on the front, right? Now, this is a pretty rare one. This is going to probably date definitely late 80s, probably 88. And this is definitely the grape. You can tell by the purple color. Let's go ahead and keep that going. There's other bubble tapes in here. Okay, the next one is a second run bubble tape from 1988. Now, it's missing its cellophane. It's missing its bubblegum roll, right? But I can tell you this is... okay, yeah, it's a patent pending, so that's going to put it right at 88. I'm going to grab the canisters. Let's just start there. Next up is a 1999, I believe. Yeah, or 2000. This is also by the Amaral Company. These are by Amaral. And this is going to be the Pokemon. Now, I've actually never known how many characters these came in, but they come with different decals of different characters. Like there's a Pikachu, for example. It says here number 7. I want to say there's like 20 of them, something like that. Oh, look at that. I didn't know it came with its little wraps. These are called different things in our hobby, but wraps seem to be the most commonly used usage there. So this was once wrapped around a piece of bubble gum, and since it came with graphics, luckily someone saved them. Notice how poor the graphics are. Are these I want to say these are tattoos, which sometimes can explain the poor quality, if it is poor quality. I've done that before. I was like, why do they look like this? And it turns out they were tattoos. Actually, I don't think these are tattoos. But anyway, pretty cool. These are just the inner wrapper, and that's the wrap. Very cool. Let's keep moving. Set the phone down. I just want to I'm gonna grab the canisters out of here. I think that's it. Okay, so the next one is a 1991. I know that from a sealed example in my collection. This is the first year they introduced this new sculpt for the, the canister. Instead of just basically what it's a dip can sculpt, they actually made it a dispenser style. And that's what that looks like. Okay, we have another Pokemon, a Bulbasaur. It too has some of its wraps in there. We can look at those real quick. Yeah, that's what they look like before you tear them open. They just slide off. I have some examples where I was able to kind of play with the gum and they just slide right out. So it's much easier to leave them just like this, like little rolls. Yeah, cool stuff. Stuff like this, it looks amazing, like in your collection. Let me grab something right here. I'll show you something. So, like, see this? You know, this is a binder page. These come in all shapes and sizes, but something like this 20 sleeve binder page. You slip those in there, and you can make a really cool page, like in a binder, with just like little stuff like this. Okay. And then the last canister is another one of these. Again, these date to the early 90s. 91, I believe, is the first year they did this sculpt with the dispenser style. The bubble tape came out of that. Very good. Okay. We'll put those to the side and keep on trucking. I'm going to pull out the cartons next. Okay, so this lot came with these cartons. These two were made by a seller called Lenny Sells. I opened one of these, I believe, last week on here. This one's sealed, so that's a good thing. That's the first thing we've come across that's been sealed. As you can see, it has a state, and that's what they did. They went around the country, and they would, do a state. They would pick something that's unique to that state, like Roadrunners. And then weirdly, they put eggs under it. And there's some animals. I was going to grab the one that I just pulled the other day, but I sold it actually. It was called gecko eggs. But there's like cow eggs, and we know, cows don't have eggs. This one's open and has one of the eggs in it. We could look at that. I don't think I've ever shown what's in these on camera before. So, yeah, there they are. In the archive, I do have some I kept sealed for various reasons, but the ones in my set are all empty. And so when I empty them, I ended up with all the eggs. And it's very inconsistent. Some will just have all white eggs, and some will be mixed like this one. So that's cool. And then these are classics. Oh, they're full too. That's cool. So I honestly didn't know. I didn't study the lot, to be honest. I knew some of these were sealed, but yeah. So this is a little better than I thought. That's what I'm trying to say. This is the classic that I believe we all remember. This is going to be the 1981 Topps orange juice carton. There you go. And I believe the apple is going to be 83. Yep, 83. All right. Knock the phone over. Okay. Guys, if you're just joining me, I'm going through a lot of candy here. And then I have a grail item that I stuck to the side over here to end with. The next thing is these date... Definitely, I think it's 91, actually. Sports Fan Bubblegum. And they made one for each of the major, college football teams. Very cool. Okay, made by the Phoenix Confections. Yeah, but that's going to be date to around 91. I think I want to pull out some of this miscellaneous. There's like different themes in here. Okay, so this stuff is kind of outlier stuff. Now these are by the same company. Both are Amaral. This is your classic Ouch one. These first came out in 91, but they ran all throughout the 90s and even the early 2000s. Now they did change up the design. There's around 4 major design change or offshoot ones. There's also been some design changes of the classic one, like subtle variants. Certainly, there's variants when you look on the contents. They'll be like in different prints and stuff. Some I swear are dated. I can't remember. If they're not dated, some have a cello over them that has, or I'm sorry, a sticker over this that's dated. But sometimes they don't. But yeah, this is probably going to be the original 91. Very cool. It's empty. This one we've gotten pretty intimate with the last month, right? Because we pulled the Bubble Burger box, but this is just going to be your basic yellow. I guess we could see if it's... Nope, it's different. Yeah, so you see the color change. Yeah, for some people this is a nightmare. For people like me, this is what I live for. The little variants. But this is going to be a classic one. Yeah, the 1.2 ounce, that's going to be the original, how they started out. No edits on this, no bubble. And the back is the classic. Yeah, this is going to be probably first-ish release, early to mid-80s. Next up is a late 90s, early 2000s. It could be honestly like 2012 even, because it's missing its little sticker here. Yeah, almost everyone has these. This is one of the unfortunate things with someone who's like myself, who's a dealer. I get these in all the time, and they don't sell quickly, and so I have a huge stash of these. This one even is stained, so it's worth nothing. Let's get these out of the way. He sent these fragments. A lot of people don't think to save stuff like this. You would have to be a hardcore collector to even care about this. And so honestly, when I saw the lot, that's actually what impressed me is, wow, this guy really is a collector like myself and would think to save fragments. But yeah, this is a bubblegum wrapper fragment. This is an inner fragment of what came inside. Clark Sprout bubblegum. All these are torn. But it's cool. Because like what you can do is, like, in your binder page, like I was showing you, this is obviously the wrong size, but you can, put them in there and they still look cool, even as fragments. So, especially something like that. That's good enough, right? So I just appreciated him thinking to save all that. He's a true collector. I kind of want to get these out of the way, even though these are really cool. So this was one of the highlights of the lot, and it was all this various sealed bazooka singles. Now, Topps is really good at dating their bazooka products, so we should be able to get dates off of maybe all these. We'll see. Yeah, so 1990. Okay. So that's what the basic 1990 bazooka looked like. Looks like almost the same design. This is probably going to be another 90. It is. But this is the cherry. We could do this real quick. Some of these look the same. We're going to assume that's a 90, right? Yep. 1990 grape. Now these, to me, they look a little different. Not sure why. Oh, the font on the grape is different. So I'm going to assume this is maybe 93. I'm really taking a guess here. Yeah, it's dated. Let's get under there. Look at that. You see it? 93. Yeah. That's me just swinging for the fences. No, when you handle this stuff for 20 years, day in, day out, you'll retain a lot of information. I want to set these out and just see if they're the same. Man, that's a great design, eh? Look at that design. This is definitely going to be older. So I'm just going to take a guess and say, I want to say 83. I want to skip a decade before. Swing for the fences. Let's see. Date's cut off on this one. Okay, well I got the decade right. No, it says 88. Yep. 88. I feel like this is kind of a throwback style. Like maybe they took a design from even the 70s and just kind of brought it back for a minute. Doesn't look very 80s to me. But okay, very cool. Love them. This was also in here. This is obviously a kind of a rare variant that probably not a lot of people has. It's dated 88, so it belongs with this. Belongs in this pile. But this is going to be the sugarless one. Very cool. Also is a Fleer double bubble. Probably dates to 88 or 87, 88. Yeah. Okay, and now we have these packs of gum. This one's sealed. That's a good score. Yeah, sometimes these are dated even, but you can't trust the date. They're sometimes they seem older than they really are. But I still would put this probably, I mean, all this stuff is, late 80s, early 90s. So I'm sure it's right in there somewhere. I mean, I know it is. And let's pull these gums out. And that'll leave us with some miscellaneous at the end. Okay, so, these belong together. These are team gums. Well, it's the same team. They're Texas Rangers. These date... Aren't they like 1990? I think they're like literally like 1990, something like that. This is all around the same date, at least the stuff we've seen so far. But pretty cool. This one's sealed. This one, I think it just fell open is what happened. That gives us an excuse to see what these look like. Eh? I've actually never seen what these look like. That's pretty cool. Comes with the MLB logo on them. Something merchandise. Can't even read it. Anyway, it says something merchandise on it. Pretty cool. I'll probably honestly just open this up and this will be what I save in the archive as a wrapper. Maybe save one of these and sell everything else. For example. This is a classic Juicy Fruit by Wrigley. Now these are pretty damn hard to date. When you get these little these are 5-stick packs, or I think 5-stick packs. They aren't usually dated. The big ones usually are, but the small ones, because these came in vending machines, usually. This one's obviously open. It's also obviously newer. It's still going to be somewhere in the early 2000s. Yeah, there's no internet website on here. I want to say something like 2005. Clark Cinnamon. These are next to impossible to date. But and this is something they've rebooted. They've come back out with since, and they've kept the same design. Now this one does have this band here on it, which is somewhat unique. It's going to be a different variant than a lot of people have. Okay, this one's a classic, definitely based on the style that's clearly 80s, right? So that's a nice little score there. This is very common with bubblegum packs. No one did this. This did it on its own. It came up on its own. It's very common for that to happen. But yeah, this is going to be a Carefree Sugarless Gum 5-pack variant. Definitely late 80s. Very cool. And then we had some miscellaneous here. First is a Clorets pack. This could be dated. Looks like something that might be dated sometimes. Usually there's a lease expiration code on it. But not this time. I was just seeing if it's sealed. Yeah, okay, so no, it's been open. There's cellophane still left on this side. See the edge? So someone basically just, peeled that off like that. Okay, then we had, this little guy, Chiclets. Okay, and some singles here. These are actually pretty cool, especially when they have their gum still in them. You list something like this in one listing, people will buy that. That's really cool. There's a lot of good advertising right here. But this is just a kind of a Wrigley spread, late 80s, early 90s, like single sticks. So yeah, I've saved the best for last. Check it out. I've been waiting years to find one of these. The same seller had it. It was listed individually, obviously, should have been. Wow. Finally. This is let's see if there's a date on it. There is a date on it. This is one of the absolute grail items in candy. This is the Blockbuster Video 1988 candy pack. Now, it's just peppermint candies, and probably if this was ever open, it's probably just basic bulk candy or just generic candy that they fill Christmas tins with. But it's all about this pack. I love to death that it's dated. I'm sorry, 1990. I'm sorry, what did I say? I said 88. 98, I'm sorry. Yeah. So this is a 1998 Blockbuster Video candy that you'll likely never see again. This was only released, to my knowledge, for one summer and 1 year. And the odds of anyone else saving a sealed pack of this is next to none. Because why would you? Yeah, I have so many good memories of just, video stores, obviously. I mean, I think we all do. But, even just Blockbuster, though. I remember them kind of towards the end of it. It mostly started with just independent video stores. And then, then you had, Blockbuster, which was a franchise towards the end. That's just kind of how I remember everything. But very cool. Yeah, I knew about this for years. I've been trying to hunt one down. It's been one of my internet searches for years. This Blockbuster candy is how I had it. But yeah, finally someone popped up with a sealed bag. And it was a hotly contested auction, man. I had to pay pretty ridiculous price for it, but no regrets. All right, guys, I'm going to review this. What came in today turned out to be just a bubblegum lot, a mixed bubblegum lot from the late 80s, early 90s. There was some Amaral bubble tape, a bunch of them, classic. There was some bubblegum cartons, These are from the early 80s, and this is literally from 1990. We had a Bubble Burger, which we've become familiar with lately. Had an Ouch 10, empty, unfortunately. We had some Bazooka Gum singles, nickel pieces. These go by different names, but these are literally nickel pieces. Well, this one's 3 cents. Sticks of gum, all sealed, and packs of gum. We got this A-Team. I believe this dates to 83 or 84. Made in the UK. Used to have bubble gum in it. A pouch. And then we had this pouch that was sealed for the university here. The Rebels. And then we close it off with one of the greatest things out there. And that is the Blockbuster video candy from 1998. Holy shit. Wow. Yeah, I wish it said "Be Kind, Rewind" on it. That'd been better, but go home happy. All right, guys. Well, hope you enjoyed that. Hard not to when you get stuff that good. And I'll see you guys around. And Russ Van out. Wow.